Hello and welcome back. I remember this time to 12 Aspects of Self. I'm Kiana Brathwaite, soon to be Kiana Jennings White. Yay! Welcome, welcome. So we are on module number 8, Health and Wellness. My definition for this, and I'm starting with the definition in the beginning for a reason. It kind of segues into a whole bunch of other things. Supporting my body, caring for my vessel. Through this process, through focusing on this particular aspect, and this may be a little longer than some of the others, we'll see. This was the impetus for the deep dive in 2020 to create something for myself that supported who I was wholly, right? And I'm going to give you a little background story. So in 2003, my grandmother passed on Christmas Day, and there's a whole lot of history behind the circumstances surrounding it, but once we got to the point of her farewell ceremony, which is her burial, she wanted to be buried, I was at the funeral. It was the hottest day in the District of Columbia, that's where I'm from, D.C., where we buried her January 3rd of 2004, and it was like 70-something degrees outside. And anybody that knows the northeastern corridor in January knows that a 70-something degree day is unheard of, right? It happens like once every, I'm trying to think of a crazy color, purple, blue ombre moon, right? And so it was a sunny day. It was gorgeous. I remember watching the pallbearers carry my grandmother's casket out to the hearse, and they were struggling. And my grandmother was like she was probably about 4'10" when she passed. I know she was well over 200 pounds. And it was then that I set this declaration for myself, right? I gave myself a goalpost and did not realize it, and I'm glad I did at the time. I'm watching them struggle, and I was like, if my indicator, if I get 200 pounds, right, because I'm 5'2", she's like 4'10", 4'11". 200 pounds is my mile marker. If I hit that, it is time for me to really take care of myself and start doing some things health-wise differently, right? So that was 2004 when she passed. I ended up having both my children in 2008 and 2009. Around 2010, 2011, I got to about 180-something, 185, right, with stress and work and not being able to take care of myself and focusing on my children and all the things. And that was when I was like, wait, I hit that mile marker. Okay. So I was aware. 2012, I started having, that was the first year injuries, work-related injury, well, second, because I had one in 2007. I had two in 2007. No, I had one work-related. Forgive me. I digress. Anyway, 2012 was when I started to get hurt a lot at work. 2014, fortunately, a girlfriend was getting married, and she was buying our bridesmaids' dresses. She asked me to be in the wedding. She was buying our bridesmaids' dresses from England. And anybody that knows about clothing sizes internationally versus our sizes, they're a world of difference. So I think she picked up like an English 12, which was really a U.S. 8 to 10. So she picked them up in February. She was getting married in August. I had literally 6 months to get my body to a point where it could fit in this dress. But it was the best thing, one of the best things, because at that time as well, I was starting to come around to the point where I'm like, okay, I got some space. My children are older. I can start whatever working out looked like for me. Groupon was big back then, so we decided she and I, even though she was a lot smaller than I was, we decided we would try something unconventional, and we did kickboxing, and I loved it. So 2004, I set the precedent for my health journey, which did not kick in until 10 years later, right? And I say that because I find it beautiful where we're exposed to something, but it's not always time for us to take action on it, right? We have to get ready, then we have to, do all the things, and then we can take action. And sometimes that time can take 10 years. It could take 5 years. It could take 5 seconds. It just depends on what the thing is and where you are when you are exposed to it or have that experience. So I'm sitting there, and I start the health journey, and I work out, and I do the kickbox, and I'm loving it. It actually did for me something very different than what I had expected, because I was like, oh, I'm having frustration at work. I'm going to take my anger out on the punching bag. That's not at all what I did. I was moving energy, stagnant energy that was within my body, and I loved all of it. Well, 2014, I got down to about 165, and then was able to get into the dress. Had some other work stuff happen, got injured, career-ending injury, and then got back up to about 190 something. I hit 189, 190, like 192 I think was my heaviest. Well, because I had started the journey, fell off the journey, I was able to get back on the journey because I had realized some things that worked for me, but I had to go back in and try different things based off of where I was now in the stage of my life. So that's why the definition is so broad, because for me, I was disconnected from communicating with my body, right? My body would send me signals, and I was not listening. And so now I have this beautiful relationship with my body where it speaks. It doesn't have to yell, and when I say yell, I had a pseudo heart attack situation at work because of the stress that I was under. That's my body yelling at me because it was telling me things before and I wasn't listening. And so now health and wellness is really about supporting my body, listening to my body, holding space for my body, connecting with my body, and recognizing that it is my vessel. And I get to take care of this vessel, engage with this vessel, have fun with this vessel. And when I started doing that and listening to my body, I started to be able to do things that I never thought that I could do, which was something as simple as ice skating, right? I went ice skating with some friends. I wasn't going to go. Actually, I was going to go, but I wasn't going to ice skate. And then I just said, you know what, I'm going to trust this. I know I've had experiences before, but I have not done this in a very long time. And I'm in a very different place. And I was able to ice skate. Recently, I did something I never thought that I would do, which is I've been riding on a motocicleta, and I love it, right? And I was saying to the person who drives it, I was like, I had to trust myself and my body. And he was like, no, you got to trust me. I'm like, no, I have to trust me first. I have to trust my body first. I have to have that connection with them to then be able to do something. I did zip lining, and I've wanted to do zip lining, and it used to scare the crap out of me, but I trusted that my body would support the experience. And so that's why, for me, health and wellness, well-being, well-being has to do with spirituality for me, and connection to myself. But health and wellness definitely is about supporting my body and what it needs. And so I want you to sit with that. I said this was going to be a little bit longer than the others. I do try to keep them within the 12-minute mark. So anytime I'm under 12 minutes, I'm doing great. Yay! But I want you to sit with that, right? Sit with where you are in your health journey. And not even please don't judge yourself. Please don't judge yourself, right? Life is what it is, and we experience it in the ways in which we do. And when we have opportunities to hold space and really recognize these other parts of us that we want to pour into, that is a gift. So you're sitting with it, you're holding it, you're playing with it, you're allowing it to show you what it looks like in your life, how you've been with it, how you've related to it, if at all. And if you haven't, now you have an opportunity to build a relationship with it. And that's what we're doing. We're building relationship with ourselves. We're building relationship with these other aspects. And before you can build, you have to know where you are. Do I need to tear down the foundation? Do I need to start all over again? What do I need to do? Do I just need to fill in some cracks? You give yourself the opportunity to understand that. And that's why I invite you to sit with it. Sit with that aspect. See what comes up. Because you're giving yourself, you're inviting yourself to connect deeply with yourself. So enjoy. Have fun. Play. And I always appreciate you being here holding space with me, for me, as I hold space for you. And I look forward to hearing you and seeing you in the next module. Take care.